In this short lecture, we are going to see the hormones from the thymus, from the heart, from the kidney, and from the gastrointestinal tract, that is from our GIT. Alright, you already know the hormones from our heart, from our GIT, and from our kidney. That will just be a revision. And the short thymus gland, alright, you have to remember that the thymus will be concerned with immunity of the body. The thymus will be concerned with immunity of the body. Alright, let us see the origin. The origin of the thymus gland will be the endoderm. It will be located below the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is over here. It will be located below the thyroid gland, just in between the superior border of the lungs. Lungs जहाँ से start होते हैं वहाँ पे center में रहेगा, इसीलिए वो heart के ऊपर रहेगा. If this is my heart, then this is going to be the thymus gland. It's going to be between the lungs on the superior side, above the heart. All right, ventral to the aorta. Aorta जो heart से निकलता है, the artery which is leaving the heart with the oxygenated blood is the aorta. So it is going to be ventral to the aorta, dorsal to the heart, above the heart, superior to the heart. It is going to be behind the sternum. यहाँ का chest bone is the sternum, in the midline of the body. देखो, location उसका ध्यान से सुनो. Thymus gland is one single gland which is going to be located below the thyroid gland, surrounding the trachea. Alright, we know that the thyroid gland is also positioned over the trachea. So, thymus is also surrounding the trachea. It will be behind the sternum, which is the chest bone, breast bone over here is the sternum. So, sternum midline में है, sternum के पीछे रहेगा. हार्ट के डॉर्सली रहेगा, लेकिन एओटा जो निकल रहा है हार्ट से उसके वेंट्रली रहेगा. ओके, बट पूरे हार्ट के डॉर्सली लोकेटेड रहेगा. लंग्स के सुपीरियर साइड के बीच में रहेगा. लंग्स के नीचे इंफीरियर साइड पे बीच में हार्ट रहता है. सो हार्ट के ऊपर रहेगा thymus gland. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द लोकेशन behind the sternum, ventral to the aorta, dorsal to the heart, between the lungs, below the thyroid gland, in the midline of the body, in the mediastinum. All these are going to be the terms used for the location of the thyroid gland. Alright? And the shape will be roughly triangular. The shape will be roughly triangular. The gland will be one in number, but again it will be a bilobed gland. So the shape is going to be roughly triangular shape of the thymus gland. Not exactly triangular, but a rough triangle. And again, it is going to be divided into the right and the left lobes. So right lobe, left lobe. It is a bilobed gland. It is going to be divided into the right and the left lobe. And it is going to have small lobular structures. It's going to have small lobular structures. So these are the lobules. The gland is pink in color, and as we have seen for the other organs, this will also have an outer capsule, then the outer cortex and the inner medulla. So it's going to have the outer cortex, inner medulla, and a capsule which is going to surround the gland from outside. As we have seen for all the other organs, the thymus is also going to have the capsule, then the outer cortex and the inner medulla. Alright, and it is going to be a bilobed gland. It's going to have lobular structures like this, and it's going to have mainly two types of cells. It's going to have mainly two types of cells. The two types of cells, first will be thymocytes. Thymocytes will be the first type of cell from the thymus gland, and the second will be the Hassell's corpuscles. Hassell's corpuscles. You just have to remember the names because we don't have it in detail for you. So just याद रखो, thymus में thymocytes. Alright, thymus में thymocytes, and second cells are the Hassell's corpuscles. So thymocytes mainly thymosin secrete करेंगे. Thymic hormones secrete करेंगे thymocytes. Thymic hormones means the hormones of the thymus gland, and the main thymic hormone is thymosin. The main thymic hormone is thymosin. Whereas the Hazel's corpuscles, they do the work of phagocytosis. Hazel's corpuscles, they do the work of phagocytosis. That is engulfing any foreign material, engulfing any infected material in the body. So the thymus gland is working for immunity. Thymus gland is working for the immunity of the body. Let us see how. Okay, let us see how the thymus gland is working for the immunity. If we go to the immunity part, let us also discuss that the thymus gland is an ephemeral gland. What do we mean by an ephemeral gland? Thymus gland is ephemeral. That means it is transient in the body. It is not a permanent endocrine gland in the body. ये एक transient gland है body में. Transient gland. Its life is not permanent till the life of the individual. All right. It is seen from birth till it grows till puberty. So at the puberty, it attains its maximum size. At puberty, it is going to attain its maximum size. From birth, it is going to grow in the child. At puberty, around 13 to 14 years, it is going to attain its maximum size. After puberty, its size goes on decreasing. So decrease in size, and gradually old age में it degenerates. So have you heard that young people have good immunity? Children have good immunity. It is because of this thymus. As an individual is aging, जैसे जैसे aging होती है, thymus degenerate होता जाता है. जैसे जैसे thymus degenerate होगा, immunity body की कम होती जाती है. जैसे जैसे ओल्ड एज आएगी, थाइमस डीजनरेट होगा, बॉडी की इम्यूनिटी कम होती जाएगी. सो इट डिक्रीजेस इन साइज एंड इन ओल्ड एज इट डीजनरेट. सो इट इज रिलेटेड टू द डिक्रीज इन इम्यूनिटी इन ओल्ड एज. Therefore we call it an ephemeral gland. It is a transient gland. ये birth से लेके till the life of the individual, it is not present in the body. It will be present in its maximum size, in its maximum function till the time of puberty, after which the gland goes on degenerating gradually. Alright? After which the gland will go on degenerating gradually. Now let us see what role the thymus is playing in the immunity. Let us see what role the thymus gland is playing in the immunity. Now you tell me which cells among the RBCs, WBCs and platelets play a role in the defense mechanism and immunity of the body. हमने RBC का function देखा है, transport of respiratory gases, transport of nutrients and waste products to the cells and from the cells. हमने platelets का function देखा है, they will mainly be involved in clotting mechanism and coagulation of this. Whereas the WBCs are the cells which will mainly be informed, which will mainly be involved in the immunity and the defense mechanism of the body. We know that the WBCs, they can be differentiated. WBCs can be differentiated into granulocytes. Granulocytes depending on the presence of granules, and agranulocytes where there is absence of granules. So agranulocytes. Agranulocytes are the cells which do not have granules. Granulocytes are the cells which have the presence of granules. We've seen this, okay? We've seen this in detail when we have seen the components of blood. Now the WBCs, the granulocytes, they will be made up of neutrophils, which take up neutral stage. Second will be basophils, and third is the eosinophils. Whereas agranulocytes have the lymphocytes and the monocytes. These lymphocytes, which are the agranulocytes, which are the white blood cells in the blood, they are again differentiated. They are of two types: B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. Now we have seen all the cellular components of blood, that is RBC, WBC and platelets. They are formed in the bone marrow. Adults में bone marrow में ये सारे cells बनते हैं. So B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, monocytes, neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils सब bone marrow में बन रहे हैं. Along with these RBCs, platelets, they are formed in the bone marrow. But बोन मैरो से निकल के बी और टी लिम्फोसाइट्स में से टी लिम्फोसाइट्स को स्पेशलाइज्ड सेल्स बनाने में, टी लिम्फोसाइट्स को मैच्योर कराने में थाइमस का काम है. So when these B and T lymphocytes they leave from the bone marrow से जब बन के निकलते हैं into the bloodstream, when in the thymus, the work of maturation of T lymphocytes is done. Also, they are specialized for the function of immunity. तो स्पेशलाइजेशन होता है उनका मैच्योरेशन होता है. हम कैसे याद रखेंगे? T फॉर थाइमस, T फॉर T लिम्फोसाइट. थाइमस में T लिम्फोसाइट के मैच्योरेशन का स्पेशलाइजेशन का काम होता है, whereas B लिम्फोसाइट ये बोन मैरो में ही मैच्योर होके निकलते हैं. So B फॉर B लिम्फोसाइट, B फॉर बोन मैरो. इनका पूरा डेवलपमेंट, इनका पूरा मैच्योरेशन बोन मैरो में ही हो जाता है, whereas T lymphocytes ये अंडर डेवलप्ड निकलते हैं बोन मैरो से. इनका मैच्योरेशन, इनका स्पेशलाइजेशन फॉर द फंक्शन ऑफ इम्यूनिटी हैपेंस इन द थाइमस. T फॉर थाइमस, T फॉर T lymphocytes, B फॉर बोन मैरो, B फॉर B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes वहीं रेडी होके निकलेंगे, whereas T lymphocytes को फुल्ली मैच्योर होने में, अपना स्पेशलाइज्ड फंक्शन करने में जो मैच्योर करेगा, स्पेशलाइजेशन करेगा, that gland is thymus. So the thymus is also called the training school of T lymphocytes. Thymus is also called training school of T lymphocytes because it is going to train the T lymphocytes. It is going to specialize them, it is going to train them, it is going to help in their development and maturation. Alright, and which is the hormone which is going to train the T lymphocytes, which is going to help in the maturation of T lymphocytes, is the thymosin. So T for thymus, T for thymosin, T for T lymphocytes. Thymosin is going to do the work of maturation and specialization of T lymphocytes, and T lymphocytes will mainly be involved with cell-mediated immunity. T lymphocytes will mainly be involved with cell-mediated immunity, whereas the B lymphocytes, they are involved in humoral immunity. Now, what is cell-mediated immunity and what is humoral immunity? We will be seeing in very detail in your 12th standard chapter. Alright, there's a complete chapter on this immune system. हम वहाँ पे देखेंगे what is cell-mediated immunity, what is humoral immunity. T lymphocytes will mainly be concerned with cell-mediated immunity and the B lymphocytes will be concerned with humoral immunity. But the T cells, ध्यान से सुनो, but the T cells will also promote production of antibodies by the B cells and will promote humoral immunity. So T lymphocytes cell-mediated immunity में काम करते हैं, this is correct, but they also help in humoral immunity. They also promote the production of antibodies by the B cells. जब कोई पैथोजन आके B cells को अटैक करता है, the B cells they produce antibodies. So this production of antibodies by the B cells, okay, this production of antibodies by the B cells is also promoted, is also stimulated by the T lymphocytes, by the T cells. So you have to remember that T cells will be related with cell-mediated immunity. ये body का immunity बढ़ाएंगे, especially the cell-mediated one. All right, and along with it, it is also going to promote the production of antibodies by the B lymphocytes and promote humoral immunity. So it is going to help in both cell-mediated immunity and the humoral immunity. Now let us just quickly write down the functions of thymosin in one paragraph so that you remember. Just point down those functions. Function of thymosin will mainly be the maturation and specialization of T lymphocytes. Blood में से जो thymus में, bone marrow में से जो thymus में T lymphocytes आ रहे हैं, they will be underdeveloped, they will not be mature, they will not be specialized cells. उनको train करेगा, उनको specialize करेगा thymus with the help of thymosin. Thymosin is the hormone secreted by the thymus gland, secreted by the thymocyte cells of the thymus gland, which will do the work of maturation and specialization of T lymphocytes. These T lymphocytes will take care of the cell-mediated immune response of the body. And they will also help, they will also promote humoral immunity, which is the work of the B lymphocytes. ये promote करेंगे production of antibodies by the B lymphocytes, thus helping in humoral immunity. They will do the work of phagocytosis. These cells, Hazel's corpuscles, they will do the work of phagocytosis, and they also increase the rate of cell division in the early life. This thymosin also increases the rate of cell division in early life, thus it promotes growth in the early ages of life. Cell division को थोड़ा सा rapid कराता है, thus it is promoting growth in the early age of life. This is all you have to remember about the thymus gland. Okay, and only this one hormone, that is thymosin, you have to remember thymus, T for thymus, T for T lymphocytes, T for thymosin. It is also called the throne of immune response because body की पूरी immunity ये thymus gland is taking care of. Damage to the thymus gland will lead to autoimmune disorders. Body खुद की ही antibodies, खुद के ही antigens को attack करती है. Autoimmune diseases we have seen, okay? So body खुद के ही antigens, antibodies को as foreign body पहचानती है और attack करती है. Damage to the thymus gland will lead to many autoimmune diseases in a person. Alright, so all this is about the thymus gland. Now let us see the hormone which is secreted by the atria. Atrium की walls जो रहती हैं heart की, वो एक हार्मोन secrete करती हैं which is the atrial natriuretic factor ANF. We have spoken of this atrial natriuretic factor in the chapter of excretion. Do you remember? This is the hormone which is keeping a check on the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. When is the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system is active? When is it? सोच के देखो. Aldosterone क्या करता है? Increased reabsorption from the later parts of the tubule, increased reabsorption of sodium and water. Aldosterone increased reabsorption of sodium and water करता है from the distal parts of the tubule. Why? Because blood pressure low हो गया है. Blood coming to the kidney has decreased. GFR has decreased. जब ये blood pressure कम होगा, blood volume to the kidney कम होगा, GFR decrease होगा, तो juxtaglomerular apparatus, they are going to sense it, they are going to release renin. This renin in turn is going to cause the release of aldosterone through the angiotensin. We have seen all this. Aldosterone is from the adrenal cortex. This aldosterone will increase the reabsorption of sodium and water from distal parts of tubule. Sodium and water increased reabsorption करेगा from the distal parts of tubule. All right, it is going to bring it back. Urine में sodium और water कम जाने देगा. Urine में sodium कम जाने देगा. So it is called anti-natriuretic hormone. Anti-natriuretic hormone. What is anti-natriuretic? Anti-natriuretic. decreased elimination of sodium in urine. Anti-natriuretic. एल्डोस्टेरॉन एंटी नाट्रियूरेटिक रहेगा बिकॉज वो सोडियम और वाटर को मैक्सिमम बॉडी में रीएब्सॉर्ब कर रहा है, तो वो यूरिन में जाने नहीं दे रहा है सोडियम को. इट इज डूइंग एंटी नाट्रियूरेटिक. एल्डोस्टेरॉन बीपी को रेज करने में हेल्प करेगा. हु इज गोइंग टू कीप अ चेक दैट बीपी एक्सेसिवली हाई नहीं हो जाए? ANF is going to keep a check on the renin angiotensin aldosterone system. So इसका stimulus होगा increased BP. This increased BP is going to be sensed by the atrial wall of the heart. It's going to sense this increased blood pressure in the vessels which are bringing blood to the heart. And it is going to decrease the BP. Action होगा BP को decrease करना. So we can say that ANF is antagonistic to aldosterone. It is antagonistic to aldosterone. अब ध्यान से देखो, एल्डोस्टेरॉन क्या करता है? सोडियम और वाटर का इंक्रीज्ड रीएब्जॉर्प्शन करता है. इंक्रीज्ड रीएब्जॉर्प्शन करेगा ताकि यूरिन में कम निकले सोडियम और वाटर. तो ANF क्या करेगा? इसका उल्टा करेगा. It will decrease the reabsorption of sodium, and water. Thus, it will not let the BP raise to a very high level. जब BP नॉर्मल लिमिट्स पे आ जाएगा तो ये सोडियम के रीएब्जॉर्प्शन को कम करेगा, एल्डोस्टेरॉन के एक्शन को बंद कराएगा. ऑलराइट. सो जब ANF काम कर रहा है, अब ध्यान से सुनो ये वाले टर्म, जब ANF काम कर रहा है यूरिन में सोडियम एक्सक्रीट होगा ज्यादा. यूरिन में सोडियम एक्सक्रीट होगा बिकॉज ANF रीएब्जॉर्प्शन कम कर रहा है सोडियम का. सो ANF इज कॉल्ड नाट्रियूरेटिक हार्मोन. नाट्रियूरेटिक इज द एक्सक्रीशन ऑफ सोडियम इन यूरिन. एक्सक्रीशन ऑफ सोडियम इन यूरिन कब होगा? जब रीएब्जॉर्प्शन कम होगा. Alright, and excretion of sodium in urine कब होगा? जब reabsorption ज्यादा होगा. तो ये काम एल्डोस्टेरॉन कर रहा है. Alright, because the atria of the heart are doing it. अब ये atrial natriuretic factor यहाँ पे बोलते हैं उसको, atrial natriuretic factor. Okay, so but actually ये natriuretic का मतलब है it is going to increase the elimination of sodium in the water, in the urine. So ये एंटी नाट्रियूरेटिक फैक्टर नहीं होता है. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर एट्रियल नाट्रियूरेटिक फैक्टर. इट इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज द एलिमिनेशन ऑफ सोडियम इन यूरिन. इट इज गोइंग टू डिक्रीज द रीएब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ सोडियम एंड वाटर. इट इज गोइंग टू डिक्रीज द ब्लड प्रेशर. इट इज गोइंग टू कीप अ चेक ऑन द रेनिन एंजियोटेंसिन एल्डोस्टेरॉन सिस्टम, जिसके फंक्शंस हमने डिटेल में देखी हैं. सो ऑल दिस इज अबाउट द ANF. Let's see the hormones secreted by the kidney now. All right. We have seen renin in detail. Renin will be secreted when the GFR is low, when blood coming to the kidney is low. Juxtaglomerular apparatus ये stimulate हो जाएगा, ये secrete करेगा renin from the kidney, which in turn is going to activate the renin angiotensin aldosterone system. We have seen this in detail, and it is going to increase the GFR. It is going to increase the blood pressure. It is going to increase the amount of blood coming to the kidney. ये renin हमने बहुत डिटेल में देखा है. One more hormone from the kidney is erythropoietin. See, the name itself is suggesting. Erythropoietin means erythropoiesis के process में help करेगा. It will stimulate the formation of RBCs, that is the red blood cells. The formation of RBCs is called erythropoiesis. So erythropoietin is going to stimulate the formation of RBCs, again secreted by the JGA, that is the juxtaglomerular apparatus cells. And the third one is calcitriol. Calcitriol is going to help in the increased absorption of calcium. Calcium के absorption को बढ़ाता है body में. Calcium के deposition को बढ़ाता है bone में. हमने बात की थी अगर कैल्शियम इंक्रीज हो जाएगा तो ब्लड से हम कैल्शियम को कहाँ पे डाल के रखते हैं? बोन में डाल के रखते हैं. सो दिस calcitriol is going to increase the absorption of calcium in the body. It is going to increase the deposition of calcium in the bones. अगर कैल्शियम बोन्स में डिपॉजिट होगा तो ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस प्रिवेंट होगा. कैल्सिट्रायोल will help in the prevention of osteoporosis. Now you tell me, this function is synergistic to which hormone? It is stimulating the deposition of calcium in the bone. It's going to be hypercalcemic जो हार्मोन है, okay, जो ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल को बढ़ा रहा है, बिकॉज वही डिपॉजिट करेगा बोन्स में, वही डिपॉजिट करेगा बोन्स में. आप याद करो कौन सा हार्मोन होगा. These are the three hormones of the kidneys which you have to remember: erythropoietin, renin, and the calcitriol. All right, and now we will see the hormones of the gastrointestinal tract. Let us see the last part of the hormones in this chapter now, which will be the hormones from the gastrointestinal tract. Different areas of the gastrointestinal tract, they have endocrine cells and they have various secretions from those endocrine cells. So the first one is gastrin. Gastrin is going to stimulate the gastric glands in the stomach for the release of HCl and pepsinogen, hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. इन सबका फंक्शन हम डाइजेशन में देख चुके हैं. We will see in the chapter of digestion in detail. We are not going to discuss it over here. Alright, here you just have to remember, because these hormones again will be there in the chapter of digestion. हम इनका रोल डिटेल में देखेंगे वहां पे. So you have to remember gastrin किसको stimulate करेगा, gastric glands को in the stomach, and on stimulation it will cause release of HCl and pepsinogen. The second one is secretin. Secretin is going to stimulate the exocrine part of pancreas. हमने देखे हैं acinal cells are the exocrine part of pancreas. So secretin stimulate करेगा exocrine pancreas को release करने के लिए water and bicarbonates. For the release of water and bicarbonates, secretin is going to stimulate the exocrine pancreas. Next is CCK, that is cholecystokinin. Cholecystokinin is going to act on the pancreas as well as on the gallbladder. Pancreas को भी stimulate करेगा for release of pancreatic enzymes, and gallbladder को constrict करेगा for the release of bile. Cholecystokinin, CCK, it will work on the pancreas as well as on the gallbladder. On the pancreas, it will stimulate the release of pancreatic enzymes. On the gallbladder, it will stimulate the release of bile. And the last one is the GIP, that is gastric inhibitory peptide. So inhibitory बोल रहे हैं, so itself is giving you an indication that it is going to inhibit, not stimulate. ये वाले सब stimulate कर रहे थे. This is going to inhibit the gastric secretion and the motility of the gastric juice. It's going to inhibit. So इसको आप ऐसे ही match the following में ही याद रखो. Just make this page. Gastrin is going to do this. Secretin is going to do this. Cholecystokinin is going to do this, and GIP is going to do this. So here we come to the end of the hormonal part of this chapter. In the next lecture, we will see the mechanism of hormone action. How do these hormones actually act on their target cells? Alright, I will see you in the next lecture.